Hi everyone, I'm Li Zhenyu, the producer of Zenless Zone Zero. I'm excited to announce that along with version 2.0, Zenless Zone Zero will be launching on Xbox platform this June as an urban fantasy action RPG with a unique style. Not only can players immerse themselves in the everyday city life of post-disaster New Eridun, they can also enjoy feeling battle within the dangerous hollows. Since Zenless Zone Zero inception, we have been working to promote the appeal of action games to a wider audience. Early in development, we noticed that many action games share a common trait, which is their high difficulty and steep learning curve. And this could be a barrier keeping potential players from trying action games. Therefore, our team thinks we should provide a simpler way for more players to experience fast-paced, exciting battles while raising the limits of combat gameplay. We also hope to bring a fresh action gaming experience to Xbox players. Zenless Zone Zero combines modern urban elements with retro aesthetics to provide a more engaging experience that reflects real life to some extent. In the urban design of the game, we incorporate many elements that evoke memories of the city life. We including familiar sights that brought us joy while we are growing up, such as arcades, video stores, and city shops. Therefore, even though Zenless Zone Zero is a fictional world, players can still find a sense of nostalgia within it. Since the open beta launch, we've been actively gathering and analyzing player feedback, refining our gameplay mechanics while staying true to our vision and principle to reach new heights with each version. And all of this, including the brand new Season 2 content, will be coming to Xbox Series platform this June. Let's jump in.
Burn in the night like wildfire. Find me in the crater, known I'm following the stars. Flame out with fire till I'm out of there in my life. Fighting for the ones that are lost in the bottle. I know it's hard to see the end. It's hard to see the end. I know it's hard to see the end. Right now it's hard to see the end. Inside the hollow it begins. It's like you're going without a make it up, my friend. We're gonna break it down, my friend. We're gonna break it out, my friend.
Hello, I'm Y from the Zenless Zone Zero dev team. For a long time, humanity has been fighting against the natural disaster known as the Hollow. They appear out of the blue, expanding and swallowing everything caught within them. The Hollows house not only a maze-like structure, but also dangerous monsters known as Ethereals, threatening the very survival of civilization. However, the development of New Eridun saw the birth of new technology to utilize resources from the Hollows, gradually transforming it into the miracle city of today. People from all walks of life gather in New Eridun, looking to challenge the Hollows to fulfill their own goals. And our role in this story is that of the closest collaborators of these Hollow explorers, the ones who can safely guide them in navigating the Hollows, otherwise known as proxies. Rather than having players directly save the world, we want to focus on the routine city life and the story of those ordinary citizens caught up in a post-apocalyptic world. In this world that doesn't distinguish absolute good and evil, we hope to explore the value of the common citizen from their various stories, invoking a cozy and down-to-earth vibe. The areas we encounter throughout this journey each have their unique charm. For example, the atmosphere of 6th Street feels extremely homey and friendly, focusing on its residents' close-knit relationships. Here, we can enjoy a cup of coffee, spend some time with different agents, play video games, or just enjoy a lazy afternoon. On the other hand, the people of the barren Outring are more unrestrained, staying true to their unique way of life. A great example of that would be the Sons of Caledon, cruising freely through the Outer Ring on their motorcycles and big rigs. Season 2 of our story will take place in Wi-Fi Peninsula, a region that's in stark contrast to the desolate Outer Ring. The people here live simple yet hard-working lives, contributing to its laid-back atmosphere. Though fairly ordinary, Wi-Fi Peninsula is rich in natural resources, which has attracted the attention of many factions, lurking and plotting behind the seemingly peaceful facade. In the new chapter, urban life and hollow exploration will be more closely intertwined, leading to a more tightly woven narrative. Our protagonists will not only have to face the hollow disaster, but also get caught up in the conflict between various factions, allowing players to face a variety of situations, one challenge after another. In terms of character design, Zenless Zone Zero features all sorts of characters living in harmony in this fantastical world. As such, we conceptualized a few different races to make our characters more unique and vibrant. We'll also often try to come up with fresh and impactful character designs that players have never seen before, such as Ellen and Lycan from Victoria Housekeeping. By incorporating familiar elements such as sharks and wolves in our siren designs, we can make our characters more distinctive and establish their faction visual synergy through their costume design. This ensures that the aesthetics of our characters remain easily identifiable without being disorganized, to the point where they can be recognized even by their silhouettes. These distinct character designs are only a part of Zenless Zone Zero's unique style. Truth be told, as an avid action game player and fan, I'm not opposed to action games that have a steeper learning curve and complicated execution. But in my opinion, fun that hinges on complexity, a simple design can also stand out just as much. We have always been steadfast in how we approach our battle design, which is to provide an exciting battle experience for our players without making it too complicated. We firmly believe that even simple mechanics can lead to thrilling and intense battles, giving rise to the combat system that you see today. In terms of offense, we've incorporated the chain attack system. While attacking enemies, agents will also inflict daze, which will cause them to be stunned once the amount of daze reaches a threshold, making them more vulnerable. In this state, players can unleash chain attacks to coordinate with the various agents in their squad, dishing out flashy combos. When it comes to defense, we've also designed a perfect assist mechanic, which can be understood as a parry. Upon seeing a yellow flash, players can instantly switch to another agent, triggering their perfect assist and following up with an attack. This elevates the visuals and the satisfaction of both offense and defense. After all, we feel that rather than just focusing on a single character, wouldn't it be better to allow other characters and skills to share the spotlight too? Following that, we'll slowly polish the details down to each frame, ensuring a punchy, impactful feel in every hit, and achieving a high speed and a gratifying combat experience. After all, our players' experience can be measured in frames, and it is precisely the balance of combat mechanics, visual and audio experience as a result of the gameplay mechanics and performance that gives Zenless Zone Zero its competitive edge. In most situations, our players can experience this even without overcomplicated controls. However, this does not mean that our gameplay lacks challenge, but rather, we've designed the initial learning curve to be gentler. As players slowly get used to the controls and the gameplay mechanics, more playstyles will be available to provide a multitude of combat experiences. For example, players can challenge stages in the simulator battle trial, pitting themselves against strong enemies to advance to higher levels. In this game mode, not only are the bosses much tougher, the SFX will also reduce the assistance provided, such as the previously mentioned yellow flash indicator to provide a greater challenge for players. We have also introduced new boss mechanics for these stages. For example, two of the earliest bosses encountered, the Dead End Butcher and Twin Dancers, will be equipped with more aggressive mechanics in this challenge mode. Of course, when players manage to overcome these mechanics, they will be rewarded in kind, granting them in a window to deal damage and rack up higher scores. In extreme cases, players might even need to make good use of the invulnerability provided by dodging along with the synergistic mechanics of certain agents, and more to be able to clear the stage. Of course, the prerequisite for this is that players will need to have an in-depth understanding of the various character mechanics. Investing time and effort to practice is undoubtedly the most important factor in improving a player's combat skills. Players can also make use of the free training mode to try out the combat effectiveness of different agents combinations, reinforcing their own understanding of team building. Upon gaining a deeper understanding of their agent's skills and mechanics, players can also try strengthening different skill modules through our in-game roguelike gameplay, discovering new player styles on familiar agents. All in all, the combat system of Zenless Zone Zero strives to meet the player's expectation of how an action game should be. Other than combat, immersing yourself in the bustling metropolitan city is another key component of the game. Of course, the extent of such immersion is highly dependent on how much the players are willing to believe in the story and the characters they see, down to the smallest details. Thus, the agent's city interactions become an important part of establishing the sense of authenticity and realism. What's different from combat stages is that the interactions with agents outside of battle emphasizes their daily routine and a sense of companionship. After all, they do have their own lives in New Eridu, outside of the hollows, running all around the city, having hapa, buying flowers, or even watching a movie. Players can build up their relationships with these agents through understanding the different aspects of them and their lives. As the story progresses, players can also get to understand and appreciate the various factions and the things they get up to through in-game events. For example, with an Outer Ring restaurant as a focal point, the Overlord Feasting event showcases the lives of the Outer Ring agents and their interesting encounters. Other than the agents themselves, designing a cityscape also requires a ton of details to make it as realistic as possible. Take the arcade on 6th Street, for example. Not only can players play games on their own, they can also invite friends in co-op mode and experience the joys of arcade games like Snake Duel and Bazaar Brigade with others. This feature has received positive feedback from many players. In the future, we'll continue to enrich the arcade's gameplay. After all, there's no better way to take it easy on the street of New Eridu than to slow down for a game at the arcade. The ability to provide players with an immersive city experience in Zenless Zone Zero has always been an important benchmark of our team's effort. The theme, story, and the characters all work in tandem to contribute to the overall design and the style of the game. While creating our characters, we hope that they can resonate with players emotionally, and that their appearance and interactions remain natural within this virtual fictional world. With these details in mind, the characters will naturally seem more believable and relatable, and that also contributes significantly to the atmosphere of Zenless Zone Zero. We have also made optimizations to the game in consideration of its release on the Xbox platform this coming June. Thanks to the increase in GPU processing power of the Xbox Series X and S, players can experience enhanced visuals and a more stable frame rate while playing Zenless Zone Zero. With the quick resume function on the Xbox, players can seamlessly toggle back and forth between other games without having to suffer through the loading screen every time. In terms of visuals, Zenless Zone Zero has also been optimized, featuring hardware-accelerated ray tracing and HDR to deliver higher fidelity and more vibrant visuals. For instance, with ray tracing rendering of indirect lighting, the visual performance of glossy or metallic surfaces will be significantly boosted on the Xbox version. This also resolves the issue of off-screen reflection, such as mirrored surfaces, water surfaces, the puddles of water on the floor, or even metallic and shiny surfaces that traditionally rasterizes faces. Zenless Zone Zero supports both 4K resolution and a 60 FPS frame rate. For a smooth gaming experience, a stable frame rate will definitely allow fans of challenging action games to play to their full potential. Other than the marked improvements to Zenless Zone Zero's graphics and performance, we would also like to highlight the game's compatibility to the Xbox's precision controllers. Thanks to the stellar vibration capabilities of the Xbox controller, players can now experience the immersive sensations of landing hits during combat. Moreover, we have configured different vibration settings for different combat actions or situations. For example, the vibration feedback for a basic attack differs from that of a special attack. Even pulling an S-rank agent feels different. With improved functional and graphics performance, a customized controller experience, and all new content that will launch in version 2.0, we believe that players can elevate their Zenless Zone Zero experience when fighting alongside their favorite agents. Zenless Zone Zero on the Xbox also supports data sharing between platforms with unrestricted server selection. This means that players do not need to worry about server or regional restrictions and can freely select the server they want to play on. Veteran players can also link their accounts from other platforms, ensuring a convenient and seamless transition to the Xbox. Zenless Zone Zero also supports Xbox Cloud Gaming, allowing Game Pass Ultimate players to seamlessly enjoy the game with just an internet connection. With Xbox Cloud Gaming, players can experience the game in 1080p and 60 FPS on their mobile devices. With realistic lighting effects and haptic controller feedback, players can conveniently enjoy the audio-visual feast that is Zenless Zone Zero.
A companion hollow has suddenly appeared on 14th Street. The Hollow Investigative Association has dispatched its team to the scene to carry out investigations from the call. Please stay away from the 14th Street area.
Step in the spotlight, the fight is on full force, I'm way too strong. My aim is sharp and I'm right where I belong. My enemies on the run, never tap out. Watch the day react from a great fast out the gate, like I'm out the gun. I am focused and I'll keep fighting till the battle is won. So pass the message, I am built for this, I am made for this, I am ready for this, you're not better than this. I am building a legacy that they will never forget. I'm rewriting the game and I'll never quit. And I'm fighting my zen while I fight to the end. They say if you can't beat them, join them. Everybody wanna be on my team then. I won't be stopped, no I won't be stopped, yeah, I'ma keep winning. I'm undefeated. I won't be stopped, no I won't be stopped, yeah, I'ma keep winning. I'm undefeated.
Now we are about to embark on this brand new chapter as Zenless Zone Zero version 2.0. Officially launches on Xbox platform this June. At the same time, we also created many exciting rewards and content for our players in version 2.0. You can add it to your wishlist right now. Over the past year, we have been actively monitoring our community feedback, whether it's support or suggestion. We deeply value our players' input. At the same time, we want to stay true to the core of Zenless Zone Zero, what makes the game unique, while making meaningful enhancements that reflect players' feedback with every update. So we would like to extend a warm invitation to new fans who have yet to experience Zenless Zone Zero and enjoy the stylish art, music and combat gameplay that makes the game so unique and appealing. Zenless Zone Zero is a game that strives for constant improvement, and we will continue to innovate and optimize with each new update. We are truly grateful for all of your love and support. We invite all Xbox fans to try Zenless Zone Zero and also welcome back our returning players. We are excited to share more surprises in the future, so stay tuned.